Today, the Nationals are broken as the fallout from the resignation of the man who's been the party's heart and soul, Barnaby Joyce, continues. And they're pulling out all the stops, it seems, to try and reel him back in. Matt Canavan retweeted this video today by the Young Nationals.
Baby, come back.
Yeah, I'm not so sure Barnaby Joyce will turn around and say, I was wrong and I just can't live without you anytime soon, that's for sure. But the anger within the party is palpable. One by one, Nationals lined up today to criticise their now former colleague as he mulls over his future and a likely defection to One Nation.
Barnaby has turned his back on the party that gave him the great honour and privilege of leading us 3 times. That, sadly, is an indictment on his legacy.
I think if he actually went to another party, he would absolutely trash his reputation and his legacy. He would be betraying everyone that voted for him as a National, everyone that voted for him as a National on the Senate ticket in Queensland back in 2004 election. So there's a whole lot of betrayal going if he turns his back not on just the parliamentary party here in Canberra, but on the National Party by joining another political movement.
Barnaby made his decision yesterday and look, he's demonstrated by his actions that he doesn't want to be part of the team anymore. Unfortunately, politics is a team sport. Barnaby always wants to be captain, but he's decided he's not going to be part of the Nationals team going forward.
Well, if the Nationals was a sport, Barnaby just got a permanent red card. His announcement is a problem for the Nationals. Barnaby Joyce is Mr Popular in regional Australia, a genuine advocate for that community. The Nationals have now lost Barnaby Joyce, Jacinta Nampijinpa-Price, who I will speak to later in the show, as well as Andrew G, who quit over The Voice. Albeit, of course, Barnaby has had his fair share of disastrous and embarrassing moments. Lying drunk on a Canberra footpath being one of them. But you can't say this man is inauthentic. In my view, he's one of the most authentic politicians in this country. He says it like it is, and he truly loves the regions. That, perhaps, is why, if he does go to One Nation, I think he and Pauline Hanson are a force, a dynamic duo. 2 authentic politicians, 2 Aussies who put Australia first, put our values first, and come up with no-nonsense policies. And of course, One Nation is riding in the polls right now, and there will be Nationals voters who would choose One Nation, thanks to Barnaby's advocacy, should he head up the One Nation Senate ticket for New South Wales. But some Nationals, though, are not giving up hope, saying the door for Barnaby to return is still open.
Look, it's also not the tragedy a lot of us feared. He hasn't joined another party yet, Barnaby, so I'm not giving up. I'm going to keep trying over summer.
Look, we'll see how it all pans out. I don't think anything's in concrete yet, but I'm sure he'll let us know.
Yeah, but Barnaby Joyce seemed pretty firm in his decision to quit, blaming a breakdown in relations with Nationals leader David Littleproud. And he reiterated that to my colleague Andrew Bolt last night.
What does One Nation offer you that the Nationals do not?
Well, I think that the big issue is that my relationship with the leadership of the Nationals in the House of Representatives, had irreparably broken down, as they say about some marriages. And it was becoming sort of, dysfunctional. And I was believing that I was turning into a bit more of a bitter person.
The question for the Nationals to consider now, could more have been done to keep Barnaby Joyce? Now, look, he wanted a spot on the front bench. He didn't get it. And politics is an adult's game. You can't just throw the toys out of the cot when you don't get your way. But realistically, his career in that party is done. It seemed as though it was over ages ago. He was even relegated during this year's election.
During the campaign, I was asked basically not to campaign for the Nationals. And after, when there's a reorganisation, they said it's by reason of generational change.
So if the party was so desperate for generational change, then why the shock, anger and surprise now that he's left and is considering his future? Can you blame him? You can't have your cake and eat it too. Even former Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack said more should have been done to keep him on side.
I think we could have and should have done more to try and keep Barnaby in the tent, and I think that should have happened from the top. But David did say to me yesterday that he had tried. A 90-second conversation, was that enough? Probably not.
So now we will see. Does Barnaby Joyce still have it in him? I think he does. The question is where? Does he sit silently as an independent on the crossbench? Does he leave politics altogether? Or does he go to One Nation, get a more prominent role and maybe, just maybe, even become leader of that party one day? I think we know where it's heading.